Yo, what's good, y'all? I'm back to talk about the wild new drama surrounding Drake and his link up with Aiden Ross.
Would you ever get in there?
No.
How much? What's the bag to get you in there?
What's the bag?
Yeah.
Who do you want? Oh, I'm not even ask.
Eddie, we.
Who do you want?
Oh, I know. I want you to.
I know some of y'all been wondering how Drake's doing now that he dropped Nokia and claimed he was moving past the negativity. But from what I've seen in this recent stream, that man is still salty, especially toward Kendrick Lamar.
That was the best fight of the night. Obviously,
You think
the
so?
ladies represented. Yeah, I think so.
I haven't handed out the fight of the nights, but I'm gonna give one to Ahmed, and I'm gonna also give one to
Scam likely looked good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like his stance, his pacing. Obviously, he's fighting YK Osiris. So.
It's like Drake can't help himself. Instead of coming off unbothered, he keeps dropping references that show Kendrick's living in his head rent-free.
It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think YK did pretty good though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got a couple in there. So
Yeah.
I don't want to diss broski.
Nah.
And to top it off, he's doing it all in a streamer environment that some folks see as a downgrade for a guy who used to be top dog in rap.
You don't have to. You don't have to. But
No,
who,
I'm saying, but yeah, it was wild.
who do you want to see in brand risk next? If you could, who would you want to see in that brand risk?
Who do I want to see?
Uh-huh.
We're gonna dive into each part of how Drake's behavior on Aiden's stream basically exposed that he's nowhere near over his conflict with Kendrick.
Would you ever get in there?
No.
How much? What's the bag to get you in there?
What's the bag?
Yeah.
Who do you want? Oh, I'm not even ask.
Eddie, we.
Who do you want me to fight?
Oh, I know. I want you to.
We'll also look at how him hanging with Adin Ross might say more about his pivot away from serious rap and whether or not fans are catching on to the fact that Drake might not be the unstoppable star he used to be.
I wouldn't do that. If we're fighting, we'll fight at Hino's gym or something like behind closed garage doors.
Yeah, you don't got it really.
This might be the biggest L for Drizzy, and it's all unraveling in front of us. Let's get into it.
You know what it is though? I respect everybody that got in there because I said it last night when we were watching UFC. Shout out to Dana, by the way, who supported you. And
That was love, bro.
Shout out to Dana.
Let's start by asking the question, why is Drake even back on a stream with Aiden Ross? A couple months ago, we saw him testing these waters, showing up in comedic or influencer type settings to talk about random topics. Some said he was just trying to broaden his audience, while others believed it was a sign that he's shifting away from the rap community that used to hold him down.
I told you a crazy Dana story.
You did.
You didn't tell him live.
No, I didn't.
No, I saw one time, I'll never forget, bro. I saw Dana White like early UFC days.
Either way, it's an odd move for a man who once said he was the face of modern hip hop. Usually, you see dudes like J. Cole or Kendrick doing serious interviews, or at least speaking primarily through their music. Meanwhile, Drake's out here doing streams with someone known for trolling, silly antics, and a younger streamer crowd.
So, but we do need some drinks though. I do.
I haven't drank in such a long time, bro.
So you're saying you want to do a shot?
Look at this little peer pressure.
From Drake's viewpoint, maybe he sees influencer collabs as a new wave, like how certain YouTubers or Twitch personalities collab with mainstream artists to get huge eyeballs. But if you step back, you wonder, is this the best environment for Drake to maintain the respectful rap legend image he used to have?
Yeah, we'll do one, because I know you're sick.
Oh my God, yes.
All right, chat, here we go. First gambling stream 2025.
Some fans are into it, saying it's dope seeing Drake in a chill setting, but plenty of rap heads see it as him basically hanging with folks who don't know or appreciate rap's deeper side. That's not necessarily the best look if you want to stay recognized as the big force in hip hop. Still, Drake must think there's a W to be had here, like maybe he can win new fans who watch Aiden's streams. Problem is, the second that conversation turned to anything about rap or rivalry, Drake's facade started to crack. Instead of coming off confident, he ended up giving away how pressed he still is over Kendrick. That's how we ended up with the entire fiasco we're about to dissect.
That's how we do it. This is how we started out. 3. Then we start out with the 3 tickets.
Yeah, we got 3 tickets to play. Can you pull up the gambling screen, boys?
Now let's look at the actual slip-ups that happened. Aiden, being the carefree personality he is, brought up random topics like hypothetical fights, the possibility of Drake getting in a ring, or just talking about the success of Nokia. Drake responded in ways that might have been funny on the surface, but definitely had an undertone of bitterness.
Yo, congrats on brand risk.
Oh, thank you, brother.
That was great the other day.
Thank you so much.
What was your favorite fight? By the way, sorry.
For instance, one part that caught everybody's attention was when Aiden asked Drake if he'd box someone for an event. Drake paused, almost said a name, then quickly changed direction. You could practically see him about to say Kendrick, but stopping himself mid-thought.
In case the chat doesn't know, Aiden started a combat league, I would say.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, it
Because
is.
it's like
Yeah.
kickboxing, UFC.
Yeah.
and boxing.
Right.
That moment was like a big neon sign flashing. Drake's got Kendrick on the brain. Because let's face it, if you were truly unbothered or had moved on, you wouldn't freeze up like that. You'd throw out a random name or deflect easily. Instead, Drake's face locked up, like the memory of Kendrick's savage lines came flooding back, reminding him how he's been overshadowed in rap battles.
Guys, we're on stream, just saying. Hey, sorry, just letting you guys know, we're live, we're on stream.
That's aura. Right?
Fans caught that tension, taken to social media with tweets like dude was about to say Kendrick and realized it'd be the biggest L of his life. And that wasn't the only slip. When Aiden started talking about running up streams for Drake's track, Drake made jokes about how the rest of these guys do it, so why not him? People read that as Drake hinting certain artists, quite possibly including Kendrick, might be inflating streams.
It was incredible.
Thank you, bro.
That was a fun watch.
You liked it? What was your favorite fight?
Some of it.
What was your favorite? All right. What was your favorite fight?
Oh, my favorite fight. I have a goated fighter.
Even if it was said casually, it shows he's still salty about other folks getting big numbers, especially after the whole "not like us" overshadowed him so badly. So once again, Drake tries to joke but ends up looking petty, basically saying, if they're cheating, I should cheat too, which just sounds like an insecure shot.
I'd get her tatted on me if I could.
Really? Who?
That one girl in the white trunks, man. You met some ex-Ximena.
No, I know her name's Ximena.
Ximena.
Okay. Nah.
Contrast that with how Kendrick's been moving. If you check, dude's barely said anything about Drake publicly in recent times. He's out there possibly making new music, doing bigger shows, or linking with artists that vibe with him. He's not on streams talking about how Drake might be rigging streams or how Drake lost a ring match.
She got out of the ring and was still like, like she was like still like, yeah.
Bro, oh my God. I can't.
Instead, Kendrick's letting his artistry speak, dropping tracks or appearing in places that reflect real crafts. When fans see Drake can't go a conversation without clowning or mentioning Kendrick, it sends a message. Drake is the one stuck in that rivalry mindset, while Kendrick's just moving on. That's a big L because it means Drake looks like the bitter one. Even the comedic attempts can't hide that. If Drake had truly won or felt comfortable, he'd laugh off the entire conflict. Instead, he's the one stoking it, talking about inflated streams or hypothetical fights. That's not the sign of a champion. That's a sign of someone who's still got a chip on his shoulder.
She's my fighter. I don't think that you should be a fan of her.
She's incredible. That fight was great. Even the other girl though that was fighting her, shout out to her too.
No, yeah, they all went crazy.
We got to talk about Aiden Ross's environment. Aiden's known for wild, unfiltered streams, comedic stuff, sometimes questionable jokes. People tune in for a good laugh, not necessarily for in-depth rap talk. So when Drake steps into that realm, the vibe is light, comedic, anything goes.
That was the best fight of the night. Obviously,
you think
the
so?
ladies represented. Yeah, I think so.
I haven't handed out the fight of the nights, but I'm gonna give one to Ximena, and I'm gonna also give one to
Scam likely looked good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like his stance, his pacing. Obviously, he's fighting YK Osiris. So.
But ironically, it's in that relaxed space Drake reveals more than he might in a formal interview. He's not as guarded, so he drops lines about others faking streams. He nearly says Kendrick in the ring scenario. He tries to clown the idea that he's threatened, but ends up showing how threatened he is. If Drake was in a serious interview, maybe he'd keep a tight handle on his words. But with Aiden, all that bravado and bitterness seeps out casually.
It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think YK did pretty good though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
He got a couple in there, so
Yeah.
I don't want to diss broski.
Nah.
It's comedic for watchers, but it's also a sign that Drake's not in control of his emotions about the rivalry. He can't hide behind the typical calm persona. So ironically, the comedic format reveals his frustration more vividly. That's how we got these little glimpses into his real state of mind, which lines up with the viewpoint that he's unsettled by Kendrick's success.
You don't have to. But
No, I'm saying, but yeah, it was wild.
Who do you want to see in brand risk next? If you could, who would you want to see in that brand risk?
Who do I want to see?
Uh-huh.
Another big point, Drake's been pushing the official claims that Not Like Us was artificially propped up or that Kendrick's success is inflated. Then on the stream, he jokes about everyone else inflates streams, so Aiden might as well do it for me.
Would you ever get in there?
No.
How much, what's the bag to get you in there?
What's the bag?
Yeah.
Who do you want? Oh, I don't even ask.
Eddie, we.
Who do you want me to fight?
Oh, I know who I want you to fight.
Which is it? Are you the victim of a fake stream scheme, or are you joking about wanting fake streams yourself? That's a contradiction that confuses fans. If you're claiming that the industry helps Kendrick get bigger numbers than he deserves, you'd think Drake would stand on some moral high ground saying, "I never cheat, my stats are real." But now, he's basically throwing out comedic lines about doing the same.
Nah, I wouldn't do that. If we're fighting, we'll fight at Hino's gym or something, like behind closed garage doors.
Yeah, you don't gotta really.
So it's no wonder fans saying Drake can't keep his story straight. If you truly believe you're being overshadowed by rigged metrics, you wouldn't embrace or joke about that approach yourself. That incongruity makes Drake look less credible every time he mentions it.
You know what it is though? I respect everybody that got in there because I said it last night when we were watching UFC. Shout out to Dana, by the way, who supported you. And
that was love, bro.
Shout out to Dana.
The net effect is that fans who were on the fence about the entire rap conflict might see Drake's confusion and think maybe he's not sure what's real or fake anymore. Maybe he's just lashing out.
I told you a crazy Dana story.
You did.
You didn't tell him live.
No, I didn't.
No, I saw one time, I'll never forget, where I saw Dana White, like early UFC days.
Meanwhile, if he's trying to brand himself as the real victim, these comedic contradictions undermine that stance entirely. It's almost like Drake's entire argument about inflated stats collapses under the weight of his own attempt at humor.
This is one of the this is like really what taught me about like etiquette and just like how to treat like people when you want to make them feel like extra special when they least expect it.
Let's talk about how folks view Drake's pivot. A while back, he was dropping serious tracks, doing rap features, positioning himself as top tier. Now, his most noteworthy appearances are comedic streams with an influencer known for chaotic content. That might be fun for casual watchers, but for hardcore rap fans, it's jarring. They see a once serious artist who's now engaged in petty jabs and comedic banter about ring matches or fake streams. It's reminiscent of how some big mainstream figures eventually shift from deep artistry to more mainstream comedic or pop-friendly work. The difference here is Drake used to claim he was among the best in rap. Now, he's doing half-satirical content with Aiden, dropping lines that show envy toward peers like Kendrick. That change is a big signal. Maybe Drake's not comfortable in that old rap lane anymore. Maybe he's accepted that he can't hold that respect, so he's pivoting to comedic content to maintain an audience. That might keep him relevant in some corners of the internet, but it loses him respect among rap purists. So if he's more comfortable hanging with Adin Ross than he is with the rap community, that might be the biggest sign we need that he's on a different path. People call it an L because it means Drake can't maintain that old persona, and so he's trying a new environment where comedic slip-ups might overshadow actual artistry. Ultimately, the biggest revelation from Drake's new stream with Adin Ross is how fixated Drake remains on Kendrick Lamar. He can't help but bring up references about inflated streams or hypothetical fights, which only intensifies the notion that Drake's mind is stuck on that rivalry. Meanwhile, no matter how many comedic jokes or influencer collabs he does, fans see the underlying tension. So, does that mean Drake's never truly moving past what Kendrick did to his image? If Drake wants to be seen as unbothered, he should stop talking about it. But he doesn't, and ironically, every time he jokes about it, it seems to confirm his frustration is real. That's a big L for someone who once sold themselves as calm, unstoppable, and above the drama. The more comedic banter we see from Drake, the more we realize he's not over it. He's still comparing himself to Kendrick's success, still questioning other people's stats, still dropping lines that highlight how badly those dices stung. Anyway, that's the breakdown of how Drake's recent session with Aiden Ross just made him look more rattled than ever. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Does this comedic approach show Drake's adaptability, or does it prove he's fallen from the serious respect he once had in rap? If you think he can bounce back, drop that idea below. If you think he's locked into a path where he's overshadowed by comedic streams and petty references to Kendrick, let me know that too. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, smack that like button, subscribe for more real talk about what's going down in hip hop, and keep watching how Drake tries to handle all this. Peace.